Walls can be placed in 3 different ways: while creating a new scene in the window relative to its dimensions, directly in the scene, or with the help of shapes. Let's go through each case one by one. Firstly, when opening a new scene. In a previous tutorial, we showed you how to read and make sense of the 3 windows that open up before accessing a new scene. In the 3rd window, relative to the scene's dimensions, we spoke of the possibility of adding in walls. Indeed, by clicking the boxes next to the dimensions, you can draw and then place the walls in the scene. You'll see that as soon as the 2 walls have been selected, the notion of cutting in the angles appears. This allows you to make cuts at the angles to, for example, create a technical duct, to a roundup, and a lot more. Let's go through the 3 possibilities. Firstly, the rectangle. By clicking on it, you will be asked for 2 dimensions, the cut before the angle and after it. Let's put in 500 and 650 as an example. As you can see, the system cuts the walls 500mm before the angle and 600mm after the angle. Next, the miter cut. Once again, you will be asked for the dimensions of the cut before and after. Let's pick 400 and 600 as examples and take a look at the result. Finally, the rounded cut. Here again, you have to enter the dimensions before the cut and after the cut. We will enter 400 and 250 for example. The software will then round up the angle based on the information given. Click on OK, and here we are in the scene. That is for the first method of placing walls. It is particularly efficient for simple rooms. The second way to add walls is directly in the scene. To do that, when creating a new scene, we will select No Walls, so as to arrive in the project without any walls whatsoever. The Wall button, or the F5 button for keyboard shortcut fans, allows you to create your own walls. Click on it and your cursor will transform, showing you the beginning of where the wall will be. Click a first time to start and therefore place your starting point. Then let go. Then move your mouse in the direction that you want to draw your wall in. Remember that it is better to work in a clockwise fashion. A small window will pop up, letting you enter the dimensions of the wall and the angle if needed. Start by entering a distance, for example 1650mm, then validate it with the Enter button. For this wall, let's put in 1260mm and an angle of 100 degrees. To access the angle value, use the Tab key on your keyboard. If there are no more walls to draw, then the Escape key allows you to stop the creation of a wall at this point. A last window will open, allowing you to enter information about the thickness of the walls and their altitude. We will leave it clicked towards the outside to make sure that the walls are placed towards the outside, therefore respecting the inner sides of the room. We would click towards the inside if we worked anti-clockwise. This method is very useful for rooms with specific angles. The last method calls shapes into action. Once again, we will start with an empty scene. This time, rather than clicking on the Wall button, we will use the Add a Shape button. It works exactly the same as it does for walls. Click once to place the starting point, let go, and then indicate the dimensions and/or angle. Like with the walls, once you have finished drawing, press on the Escape key. To put walls on your shape, click on the Wall button and confirm that you want to place on the shape. The window that opens is the same as the one seen previously. The difference between the last 2 methods is that with shapes, you can create very complex rooms with roundups, for example. We advise you to watch our tutorial dedicated to shapes. So, you have 3 different methods to place walls at your disposal.